going to get into this video and I'll kind of explain some of what I'm seeing and why it's like that. All right, so the very first example we have here is Black Panther. Now, this looks pretty bad in comparison, right? I mean, when this that game first came out, this actually looked pretty good, right? Now it looks terrible in comparison, but why is that, right? Well, Marvel Avengers, they weren't going for this comic book look. They were going for a more realistic look. And this is exactly the problem with adaptations in the movies. So exactly what I was saying. Look at the proportions. Look at how wide the shoulders come out, how big the shoulders are, and in comparison, how small the head is compared to the rest of his body. Now here, these are more realistic proportions, right? This looks like if a human being were to suit up as Black Panther, that's what it would look like. And this is the underlying problem of why adapting comic accuracy cannot be you just can't hold it. It's an impossible, you can't hold that standard. It's an impossible standard, right? So this kind of is a really good example of that. Oh, my God. I actually paused it to say one other thing about this, but I just changed frames. So we'll go ahead and move to this one. This is just hard to look at, right? I mean, look at just how fucking absolutely badass this looks, right? But it's not realistic. This is a comic book, right? That's how it's supposed to be. Because the only way it does look realistic is in this type of medium, and that's why the rivals' art style is being praised so much, because they're sticking with that element that everybody loves, right? Now this, once again, is an example of the art style going in the direction of realism, right? This is literally what, a real life panther head would be if it were fashioned to be headgear, right? That looks like a real dude's face. He's even got the little 5 o'clock shadow, real torso, real proportions. See how much his shoulders don't come out? These are just real proportions. I mean, look at the quads. You take the left example out of the way. This dude looks like he probably lifts weights, right? But again, this is just a perfect example of how what that challenge is, adapting a character from one to the other. And this is one reason Avengers didn't work, right? You have all of this creative freedom with no limitations to real life interpretation or having to adapt, right? But you do it anyway. You constrain the aesthetic of this comic book aesthetic. You constrain yourselves unnecessarily to do this realistic thing. Now, can it be pulled off? Of course it can. I do think it can. I think that you probably do still have to make some minor creative. I think you have to take some minor creative liberties, though, with that. This is, if there's one thing to praise here, is that that looks like a real dude, right? That looks like if your neighbor went out and dressed like this for Halloween. That's what that looks like. So it's not exciting. What game would you rather play? Even if you had no idea what the gameplay was like, what the story was about, anything else, if you just saw these two things. Oh, Rivals, Avengers. You're going Rivals all day long. Now, you're going to have those people that are like, well, hold on now. What's the story, with the right one? Right? And that's fine. But I think all in all, you know what that vote would be. All right, we got to keep this thing moving. I can't look at this much longer. It's bad. Oh, he's like looking like, oh shit, you guys are looking at me? All right. We're in the same boat here, guys. I mean, we see exactly what they're going for. More realism, not quite working, folks. The exact same costume, rendered in a comic accurate art style. There you have it. But like even their movements, right? Even their movements are designed to look like, real life, like somebody's in that suit, just standing there, right? These are more accentuated, more animated motions that aren't confined to how a human is just idle, right? This one actually isn't that bad. This is probably the best comparison in terms of margin of aesthetic quality. But still, you see that these colors are a bit muted. And that's by design, right? Again, this is supposed to feel more real life than this. But there's no way that you can tell me this looks better than that, right? Unless you're Martin Scorsese or something who just hates that kind of stuff. But this makes me really curious what's up ahead. I have seen this video before, but I don't have it memorized. So let's keep it moving. Yeah, that one is pretty good, actually. Guys, I mean, dude, look at the cankles, right? See how big the feet are. The ankles come in tight. The calves come out contoured. I mean, this looks like somebody in construction going to the job site, right? That's what that looks like. And just like your average dude, right? Like not even a superhero, not somebody that is under the influence of super soldier serum, right? That's not who this guy is. That's who they tried to make him be. That's the story they were trying to tell, right? But that's not believable. This dude right here, look at this fucking guy. This dude looks like he could bench press a Toyota. Just a lot more badass. With that said, I am excited. I am excited for Cap to finally get his MCU variant in here because now, in a really funny way, we're adapting real life versions of the characters back into the comic book art style. Guys, I'm just going to leave you with that for 1 second. All right. Yeah, I had to go get a drink on that note. And no, it's not alcoholic, but I thought about it. I thought about it. Guys, first of all, it looks like he combed his hair with a pillow. Okay? That's the first thing. What in the is that? He's just got like little strings of hair coming down over his face. He doesn't even take his own self seriously. How can we? Right? And then what is that? It's just like his was it, is that like his ponytail coming up over his shoulder like that? Is Captain America rocking like that? No, he's not. God, look at those tiny little feet. Those tiny little feet. He's not about it, guys. You can tell right here. This is cosplay. And you weren't confined to have to do this. You could make him however you want. You can give him any proportions you want. But they went with the try to be more grounded real life thing. Now don't get me wrong, like the graphics are actually minus the hair. The graphics themselves are pretty good, right? Like it looks like it has the textures that it should and all that. So I give them that. But even this is probably the worst costume that we have so far. This is a goofy ass costume, and it looks goofy to me anyway. It looks goofy as a comic book in a comic book art style. This, all right, we got to get away from this. I'm going to start bleeding somewhere. Okay. This one's actually not that awful. But damn, this one is actually damn near identical. I mean, I get it's literally from the movie, so it's being drawn from the same thing. But this, I mean, that looks like I don't know, that just looks like the lead singer of what's that shitty band? I think I may have tried to delete them from my memory, but that's what he looks like. And again, look at the shoulders. This dude obviously hits the gym. He's obviously benching at least 350, 375, right? Depending on where he's coming from, he might be in a wife beater in the front yard, putting up 375, right? Every morning. He's got the arms. That. If you told me that's what he does, yeah, the arms, they check out, right? So he's a big guy. But He ain't this. He ain't this dude. He's dressing up to go visit some cancer patients, right? He's dressing up as this dude. You know what I mean? But Nickelback. That's what I was thinking of. Dude, looks like they just fucking put the lead singer of Nickelback in here. It's all right. Flex on him, buddy. We're just going to keep it moving. You already know. Yo. Do you see that hair? This is comical. This is comical. All right, we don't even need to touch on this one anymore. You guys see what I'm seeing. Man, that little tiara too. You know, usually I'm a completist. And I actually did push myself in Avengers to play a little bit more than I actually wanted to. Right? The Hawkeye DLC came out. I was like, all right, we got some new content. And that content was pretty whack. The characters had some kind of cool stuff going for them. But it wasn't compelling. It didn't keep me in. I finished it because I started it. But what I didn't do is anything else past that point. And that's actually rare for me. And what makes it even more anomalous is that it's a Marvel product. I haven't even seen this dude. I never saw the Winter Soldier come out in this game. And this is, I mean, this is awful. If somebody brought this to me in art class, I mean, that's a D minus at best. Look how fucking goofy this guy looks. Like he literally looks like he can't take care of himself. And how he found himself in this position, I don't know. That's a story for another day in hundreds of years. Okay, so you know who's winning in that fight. The picture only gets more clear. That hair is awful on the right. This one's not too bad actually. But come on. Bruce Wayne. More of the same. Guys. They really had to do this to him. And all he did was take Cap's boots and spray paint them light purple. It's not even a good shade of purple. Like, it's already like, hey man, this is gonna be hard to pull off. And he's like, bet. And this dude's like, you're right, I don't think I can do it. The buzz cut, I don't know about that. Well, we've seen enough. Okay, so he grew his hair out, but then he bleached it and put on another ridiculous outfit. My God. He's even rocking J's. Right? That's what those are. Way cooler. We all know it. Once again with the shoulders. See? Perfect example. The torso comes in. It's got an exaggerated swoop right here. Right? This dude just looks like he's like thighs to chest, straight up. He never had to do this. No one asked you to make this with these limitations. Okay, this might actually be the best possible attempt at finding one that is better on this side. This one is that one's actually pretty nice. That one's pretty good. And although I do like this one, I might say this one's a little better. This is kind of crazy. I would never have guessed that I would have encountered one that actually stood a chance to be even remotely close to this side. But this one has blown my expectations, and I think I might actually have to give the nod to this one. All right, let's move it along. Same shit. Not as the last one as all the other ones. Okay. Pretty goofy looking over here. Look, I mean, she already looks like she doesn't know where she's at. She already looks like she's out of place. She's looking around like, where am I and why am I wearing this? Right? And look at the confidence over here. Huh? Huh? So confusing. We know. We know. Okay, I think that's it.